All right, I'll put in piece here. Explaining where God come from in ancient times. Everything is an act of sex. And the pleasures of orgasm. Since ancient Egypt. That is the fact. But the orgasm is felt in the brain. And the brain was subjected by entheogens, psychotropic substances that actually created the images of God. The ancients didn't know biology, neurology, or reproduction science at all. So breast milk was seen as semen that created life. And if somebody dies and you give him a little bit of milk from your breast, gives him life. And the same thing with semen. So that's the reason of fellatio. In other words, sucking dick. But in ancient times they did that, it was all sacred. Created orgasm, make you feel good. Exactly what all religions come from, especially the Catholic Dogma. Today we know what it is. Roman Empire, there was no such a thing as gay or straight or homosexuality or anything like that. It was just the pleasure of orgasm. And also, there was no such a thing as racism. There was that was all our Christian inventions. They don't have the pedophile that actually rape children and sadomasochism. That's a Christian invention. They didn't have that at all. It was beautiful life, very organized. Wonderful, until the Christians came around and destroyed it, initiating the Dark Ages. 5,000 years ago, according to the Egyptians, the whole universe was created by an act of masturbation. And the milk, the semen, created everything. So the lady's breast milk and the tits, which were very similar to the glands that produces milk and the river of life, were venerated and they were sacred. They also produced orgasm. Here you see the Venus in the Capitol Museum and Renaissance paintings that show the Virgin Mary shooting milk in the mouth of saints and blessing everybody with their milk. This is the reality of it all.
So before deciding whether to proceed with the purchase, it is not unreasonable for the head of the household to examine the goods.
In popular parlance these days, people talk of sex slaves. They weren't specifically sex slaves because all slaves were open to sexual advances and could not refuse them. For sex would be like buying a Mercedes and never driving it. It just didn't make it.
Desire could be of either sex. There is a Roman tradition of close physical friendships between older and younger men.
Like the Spartans.
Were a Roman to take a time machine trip to the modern world, he or she would be shocked, I think, to find that we divide sexuality up into two groups according to the gender of the object of desire. Heterosexual. The Romans had no such division.
Yeah, no such a thing as homosexual.
The beauty of the love interest is more important than his or her gender.
There's this period of really great license in society for young men between adolescence and marriage, in which they're considered properly to be exploring sex with both male and female partners.
That's right. And all of it amounts to bisexuality. Our bisexuality. We are product of a male sperm and a female egg. And then we have the biology of sex. Hey, we have tits. What does a male do with tits? With nipples? So the ancients didn't know that. Today we know this thanks to science. There is no God. God is a delusion in ignorant or schizophrenic brains. They're another ass from a hole in the ground. This is the problem with the religious psychosis that we should cure. Because people that believe in God are no different than schizophrenics. The evidence that sex was viewed as sacred and semen and breast milk is obvious in the ancient world. The epigraphy is there. You look at the crosses on this area, which is actually a symbol of a sun god. You have Priapus and everything. It was nothing wrong with it. It was just that people who ran around naked. I mean, it makes no difference. It was not something. And here is the biology of penis Christ.
The Warren Cup in the British Museum clearly depicts on both sides a close relationship between two males.
You see two men, one with a beard on the bottom, the other without a beard on the top. Now this to us might seem kind of shocking, but to the Romans, who valued images of lovemaking as a gift of the gods,
exactly.
would have
It was
seen
sacred.
this as a beautiful representation of young men enjoying themselves.
Exactly. Sacred.
Even more.
This male, you know, does not see the epigraphy on the cup, on the Warren Cup. The crown, the symbolism in the scenes of the sexual act. There was sacred. They ignore that. They see just a guy having sex with another guy. That's the only thing these stupid idiots see. They don't see the epigraphy and the other symbolism of the objects in the scene. Idiot.
Pompeii in 1986. Excavations in the town had been going on for a century. A certain amount of erotica had already been found, but on a cold February day, a workman cut through the debris to reveal pictures that would change our view of Roman sex forever. He found the set of barrel-vaulted rooms that comprise the suburban baths, a public swimming pool and bath complex. Mosaics depicting Neptune and other aquatic gods decorated the site.
The Romans equated the skull of a bull with the female reproductive system that was sacred, the gate of creation. Here is depicted in coins. We can see that the bull was
is
a
the creator,
sacred object.
Lord, penis Christ, in heaven.
Here is the mother of God, Mary, or Isis, the same thing.
Here, 9 months later, here are the results.
The problem today, if you watch any science channels or, you know, History Channel, especially, Discovery, is that when the authors of these programs, especially the History Channel, go back in time and tend to narrate things in ancient times, they keep their stupid, uneducated brains in modern times. They go back and look at everything with modern eyes. You cannot understand the past if you don't study it, and when you go into the past, you know, think and reason like ancient people. You'll never know it. And this is the problem nowadays. Everything is distorted. That's the reason they don't come up with the truth as it is, because they think like in modern times. It's like if they had electricity and they spoke English, you know, 2,000 years ago. A bunch of retards. So that's the reason, the History Channel cannot be trusted. The people are a bunch of ignorant idiots. And they are like this. They look at things with modern times, and they are very stupid. They don't connect the dots. That's the greatest problem. But I will bring you the truth, connecting all the dots. Back up with facts. The ancients know biology, and orgasm, and astrophysics, and science. No, they didn't. That's my point.
Here is the cave of creation where the Lord and Savior penis Christ is going to deposit his milky river of life. This is a sagittal slice through a female breast. The shooter of the river of life milk. Like it or not, people infected with psychosis, this is the creator of God, product of evolution, our brains. The creator of thought and the mind. No, God needed. As a matter of fact, it creates God. It's a product of evolution. We happen to use cognition. Our brains are much more improve and evolve.
We create God, the mind with the brain. Everything that I say here in my videos, I come back out with facts and evidence. Pace Theorum.